Oh, well, what? Just go. What? Go ahead. Take it where you would like on that, because they're here again. We have these people calling you a liar, and yet we have Frank Turk saying exactly, and then so they keep contradicting each other.
And right here, Candace is going to let the entire world know a huge secret, and it's the reason that no one can question her motives or why she's doing this ever again. This is it right here. All right, Jesse on fire. Welcome back. Not in my studio, obviously. And Jesse, why do your eyes look so red? It's because I'm very tired, and it's midnight in Vegas, which is 2 a.m. where I'm from. However, I wanted to do this video real quick because I didn't get a video out today, and I'm in Vegas because I did Jake Shields' show earlier, and I actually just did. I spent about a half an hour on Nate Valhalla's live stream when I got back to my hotel. He had been going for 7 hours. It was that was really fun. Anyway, but so I'm flying out at 6 a.m. to go do Angela Rose's show in Denver tomorrow. But I want to talk about this, okay? Because my buddy Danny, he sent me a clip of this interview right here, and so I literally am just going to play this part, and we're going to react to it because bottom line, once you've heard this, okay, no one can question why Candace is doing this ever again. Okay, I'm gonna tell you that right now. Like I still was like, I'm not questioning her because she knows more about TPUSA than I do. So like, how am I in a position to question, what she's doing or why or whatever? But after you hear this, okay, the questions are over. Okay, the questions are over. Put yourself in her position and imagine that this happened. Okay, so let's watch this real quick. And if you want to support the channel and support your boy doing content at midnight because I starved you guys today, then you can subscribe to the channel and like this video.
You keep continuously catching other people in inexplicable lies about everything surrounding this event and Charlie Kirk's legacy. For instance, they were all trying to say that it wasn't true that Charlie had turned on the Greater Israel Project, and you said that you had text messages. They said it was a lie, and then you, of course, revealed them. Here's the Jewish donors play into all the worst stereotypes. I cannot and will not be bullied like this, leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause. And so when you produce, that's funny, they tell you you're lying, and then you produce them, and then they go, well, why would you release private
text messages?
So you can't. They create this scenario where you can't win, no matter if you prove them to be liars. You shouldn't have done it. It was inappropriate. And if you don't prove them to be liars, then you're the one who's lying. And so I can't get over again that they think this is going to work. And so I just wanted to bring this up, Erica.
First of all, let me just say something about that real quick, because this is the part that I'm talking about that's coming up in a second. Okay. Let me tell you what the reality of this situation is. Okay. Do you want to know how you win in this game? You want to know how you win? Is you persuade more people. That's the game that we're in. Okay. If you are persuasive and there are, a smaller say there's 1,000 people that are going to watch you and then watch other people, and then you persuade 650 of them, you're winning, dude. It's as simple as that. This is a global stage that Candace is on, and she is up against a tremendously large group of people who are trying to go after her. And at the same time, there's a lot of other people like Jimmy Dore, like Valhalla, like me, like, Heavy Duty Country, Ian Carroll, all of us that are like, I don't agree with everything that Candace does. I don't disagree either. It's everybody. I just look around. I'm like, is this person smart? Yes. Do I think this person's doing what they think is right? Yes. Then we're good, dude. We're not fucking babies like these crybabies on the left or these weirdos who are yelling at people because they don't agree with them. But it's like, if Candace is persuading more people than she's winning, right? It's just that simple. And when they try to play games like that, where they're like, hey, just so you know, she's a liar and she really did this thing and this thing and this thing and this thing. And then she proves them wrong and they go, oh my God, you betrayed his trust. Okay, well, guess what? The only reason that would work is if the public thought that her betraying the trust was so egregious that they would stop listening to her and that would actually slander her name. The thing is, you think the public gives a fuck about what is private versus not private if we get to find out more information about something that we're interested in? Okay, no one cares. Like, no one fucking cares. If you're lying about something and someone has to betray someone's trust in order to prove that they're telling the truth, you think the public cares? Oh my God. They should have really prioritized the trust and, bond that they had, over proving that this gigantic machine was fabricating lies and slandering you. No one in the public is going to side with them on that. I don't even know why they do it. It's like you're not the problem is because the people who make the decisions on that side of the fence, and I'm not just talking about I'm not talking about Israel necessarily, and I'm talking about the same type of machine that existed during COVID and all of these things where you can feel that top-down narrative, is because it's being driven by billionaires who have no idea what people are actually like. They live in these little bubbles with these snooty other people. They live nothing like us. They don't understand. And so they're using these old school tactics that are never going to work again. Okay, they're never going to work. The reason why you can't get anyone to vote the direction Beyonce says is because social media has opened the cameras, okay? There are no gatekeepers anymore. The powerful people who decided who was going to be a star, that shit's fucking over, dude. Okay? Anyone can put their content up on the internet. And if they're talented, you don't get to stop them from being stars anymore if they're a star. Okay? So and the reason that matters so much is because that relationship that creators have with their audience, they know them. And I always say this, is like, I don't say people feel like they know you. They do know you. Care what you think. Okay, I just talked for way longer than I intended. Here's what I was talking about.
Kirk, now there's a new one where you have relayed information that Charlie Kirk told people the day before he was killed, that he said they're going to kill me. Mm-hmm. And so Erica was asked about this by Glenn Beck. I miss how he used to cry all the time. I don't know why he doesn't do that anymore. I miss it, but he was my favorite crier. But here we go. Here's what she had to say about it.
I have unbelievable amounts of death threats. My kids have kidnapping threats, death threats. Our whole team has death threats. We knew that there was always going to be a threat, but Charlie and I
So I just want to stop it for a second. This isn't the point of this video, but she kind of makes it sound like this is new. She's admitting right there, this is not new. This has been always. This has been, so people, it sounds like they're trying to make it out like you are creating these death threats other people have. Yeah. And it's just, she's there admitting that we always knew, she said, and they always were receiving death threats. So it's not, I don't know why they bring it up, because it's not new. But anyway, here we go.
We promised each other we would never live in fear. And he would say, if they're going to get me, they're going to get me. But he was not messaging people the day before saying, I'm going to be murdered. They're coming after me. Someone's going to kill me. He didn't say that. And I have his cell phone.
Okay. Well, the problem is we have Frank Turek saying that he did say that. So here, let me play that.
And so I texted him. I said, Charlie, I hope you've increased your security detail. And he said, I have. I know they want me dead.
Here we go. The big reveal.
And that it indicates that someone's lying. And as you always point out, the only reason you would lie is to cover something up. So take it where you want.
Well, here's what I'm just going to tell the truth. Okay. I did not see that she had said that when I did my show yesterday. And then I saw it after. And I can tell you 1000% that Andrew Colvett told me the night before Charlie was murdered that Charlie Kirk texted him and said, they are going to kill me. Andrew Colvett is the person who received a text message from Charlie Kirk saying they're going to kill me. And I'm not getting that third party. I got that directly from Andrew Colvett. He asked me to keep it off record, and I would have kept it off record if Erica did not imply that I lied, right? So, I mean, I'm not saying she is saying Candace is lying. I am saying that since I was the one who put it out there, she's implying that I'm lying and that that's not true. So we have a scenario here where either Andrew Colvett has told an explicit lie or Erica Kirk is telling an explicit lie. It's not up for me to determine who. I didn't receive that text message, but yeah. And I also was told by a person at Turning Point USA, who I'm not going to name because they are one of my sources, that Dan Flood received the same message. So there you go. I don't know.
Let me do, okay. So that's a mouthful. Now, to be clear, in case anybody is not picking up what I'm putting down in terms of why that's the end of the conversation as it relates to what Candace is doing, is imagine, okay, put yourself in her position. Like, imagine that someone who works with one of your best friends hits you up, okay, on Wednesday night, and they're like, hey man, I don't know, man, Billy he's really, really scared. Like, he thinks that Jim, his neighbor down the street, two houses, is going to kill him. And he's serious. He thinks that this guy's going to kill him over this thing. And you're like, oh dude, he's tripping, he's tripping. And then the next day he gets murdered. And then they arrest some kid who was like visiting from out of town. You're all, no, I don't think it's that kid. Oh no, it is that kid. It is. You're all, no, I think it's not. Okay. Because I found literally the day before, he told me it was his neighbor down the road that was going to do it. Or he told his friend, I know he thought that this guy was going to kill him. And they're like, nah, we're not going to look at that. And as a matter of fact, if the Department of, the DHS, right? Tulsi Gabbard, DHS, if we find out that her team is investigating that guy down the street, we're going to shut that down. We're going to shut that down. And you're like, he literally said that he thought that the neighbor was going to kill him. Well, you're not allowed to investigate that because that would be problematic. Okay? But the bottom line is, think about what that would be like if you experienced that. Okay? No one's going to convince you that Tyler Robinson did it if you're Candace. Okay? No one is going to convince you. No one. No one would be able to convince me. Like, no one would be able to convince me. And think about this, dude. In addition to that, she knows all these people. So first he tells her Charlie thinks they're going to kill him. Then he gets killed. Then they start lying. Like, the people around Charlie start lying. And she knows they're lying. Okay? Now, I would pose the following. Like, if I was having a friendly discussion with Candace about this, or like a friendly debate about it, playing devil's advocate would be very easy. I would be like, okay, so you're saying that before Charlie got murdered, Andrew told you that he's that this is going on, right? And now these people at TPUSA are lying, right? And that makes you think that they're in on it. Yes. I mean, honestly, as I'm saying this, she never really said that TPUSA is in on it. Because what I was going to say is, don't you think it's possible they're scared shitless, right? That their behavior is actually based on pure fear. And think about this too, okay? I'm actually putting this together right now. Now that we know that, we fucking know that the people at TPUSA would be terrified. And it doesn't even necessarily mean that Tyler Robinson could have done it. I think, if you, like I've said a million times, if you put a gun to my head and I had to get it right, I would still think that it is the leftist kids. It's Tyler Robinson, but I think that there are so many other people involved that this is a joke. I think personal opinion, think Hunter Kozak was in on it. Personal opinion, think Lance Twiggs was definitely in on it, in my opinion. I think that these trans furries, that all these people around were definitely in on it. I think the fact that there were dozens of people posting about it the next day and that the FBI is just saying that it's a single lone shooter is like an attack on the public's common sense to a point that is like, now is it possible they're running an op and they just want those guys to think that they're not on them? Of course, right? But just like I was just talking about with Nate in his live stream, it's probably unlikely given that the director of the FBI, after making the arrest and charging documents got put in with the story that they're saying is what happened, he goes public on X and he's like, so we just want you to know that we're still investigating this and this and this and this and this. And it's like, oh, cool. So if I'm his defense attorney, I'd be like, wait, so your story is that my client did this? Yes. But that's what your story was like when you guys charged him? Yes. Okay, well, right here you said that you were going to investigate this. Did you say that? Yes, I did. Why would you need to investigate something if you already knew? Well, I was just making sure everybody knew that we were turning over every rock. No. You said you were investigating the direction that he went off the roof and where he stashed the rifle. Right, but I was just saying that I wanted the public to know we're turning over we're looking into everything. Right, but you specifically said in that post that you were researching that. Why would you be researching that if you guys were sure that you were right enough to charge him in these charging documents? Were you potentially rushing to judgment? Did you feel a lot of pressure from the country and from the administration? They wanted this thing solved fast enough that you might have made a mistake, fast enough that you might have latched on to a story that you thought was convenient, put a bow on a case, and maybe you didn't necessarily prioritize my client's life and my client's well-being, given the fact that the outcome of this trial is potentially him getting the death penalty. Would you feel okay with him getting the death penalty, given the fact that you didn't even know whether or not he went that direction, or who might have stashed a rifle? Your own words. Why would you be investigating it? I would love to be a fucking lawyer, by the way. I would love it, dude. It's just like making videos, except my purpose is to like break people down on the stand, you know? Instead of talking about people, I just talk to them. And I'd be like, go ahead. You were doing so. No. Oh, were you waiting for me to object? No. You were doing such a good job demonstrating your lack of credibility. I just wanted you to keep on going. Keep going. Keep talking. Okay. So you're the director of the FBI, right? And you posted that. Did you think to yourself afterwards, I'm probably not up for this job? Maybe they were right when they said I was underqualified. Did you think about that, you know, at any point? You know, get him a little rattled, get him a little defensive and mad, given that, you know, Kash Patel, I think, would be prone to lashing out. And when people get angry, they make mistakes, you know? This is the way that I think. I would have fucking loved it. I would have thought of all the things that'll get under a person's skin and specific to them, and I would have just prodded them. Got them upset, gotten them mad, and honestly, even if they say all the right things, jurors don't like people being angry. You demonstrate that you're angry, the way they're going to interpret it is going to be I should have fucking gone to law school, man. But I like doing this too much. Anyway, but yeah, like bottom line is the people at TPUSA are probably fucking terrified, right? Like how would they not be? Even if these guys did it, okay? If there's a chance, right? If there's a chance that the donors or Netanyahu or whoever else was behind murdering Charlie Kirk, even if it was a 25% chance and you're in leadership in TPUSA, okay? Like I alluded to a story on Nate's podcast tonight, or Nate's live stream that I'll just touch on again here, that something happened. I know I've alluded to it a little bit behind this, like where I told you guys something happened behind the scenes that I can't talk about. And I got permission the other day, 2 days ago, that I am going to be able to talk about it on the channel. And, you know, I really have to think about how I want to structure telling the story, because it's so like you guys are, I mean, it's very easily verifiable. Like you'll be able to verify every single part of it because I'm going to show you. But like, as it was happening and we were looking into this, like it is the kind of thing that people die over. Like very much so. A person finds this out, they get killed. You know what I mean? Like, and it was a very real threat. Valhalla is actually the one, you know, he's a fucking Green Beret. And he was like, dude, this is like watch your fucking back. And it is terrifying. It is so fucking scary. You know, like if those types of people want to get you, like they're going to fucking get you. I'm not getting a security detail. And I'm not that fucking hard to find either. You know what I mean? So like, and I didn't even know if the threat was real. Like I had no idea if the threat was even real. If you're Andrew Colvin, you fucking terrified. You'll do whatever they ask. I would. I'm not trying to die, son. You know what I mean? Candace just for some reason was born so fucking pretty. Look at her face. And also completely devoid of any kind of fear for some reason. You know? Can you imagine if she was a dude? She would have been a fucking nightmare. I wonder what she would have done with herself if she was a dude. Like if you just packed, like, you know, if you made it socially like incentivized for her, like for a person to be like violent and aggressive physically, and she grew up in that world with her fucking brain, Jesus, dude. She would have been like, she'd been a UFC fighter or something. Or like, I don't know. It's very late at night. This is, I should be asleep. It's literally equivalent to 2:30 in the morning. I am fucking exhausted. Anyway, let's watch a little bit more of this though.
I believe that she has his phone. I maybe somebody deleted it, but I don't know why Andrew Colvett, 48 hours after Charlie was dead, would lie to me. He did not sound like he was lying. He sounded very concerned about it. And I specifically said, like, who is they? Like, he said, they're going to kill me. And he said, I don't know who he was talking about. And I thought, it's kind of weird. Yeah, that's what I can tell you.
Yeah, he did. He knew exactly who he was talking about because he was in upper leadership. And so he was obviously in the know that Charlie was pulling back from the, Team Israel or whatever. And like, again, I stay out of that conversation because I don't, what the fuck do I know? You know what I mean? I don't know nothing. I don't know anything about anything. All I know is I don't like dead kids, no matter what color they are. And I don't like people getting murdered on American soil by anybody. But if it was a foreign government, that would be a very serious problem. But like I said, if I had to bet, I'm still betting on trans leftist radicals. But I've looked pretty deep into this thing. And don't ever forget that Lance Twiggs was kicked out of his family because he attacked his grandparents with a knife. Okay? This is the trans furry roommate that looks exactly like Tyler Robinson, I still, like, come on, dude. Tyler Robinson was wearing one outfit, then he changed clothes and whatever. Hey, you don't think maybe there was two of them? Like, you don't think that's possible? Do you ever have two simultaneous videos where both, no, that would be in reverse. Go to sleep, Jesse on Fire. You were about to ask if they had a video simultaneously where they're, both on at the same time. Obviously, they would prove the opposite of what you're saying. So, go to bed. What? Go to bed. What? Go to bed, dude. Fine. I am fucking exhausted, dude. I won some money tonight, though, dude. What's up? Where'd it go? Oh, I put it in my bag. But look, I'll prove it to you guys. Look at this. That's cash. I'll edit that out. But for everybody, before I go, I wanted to tell you guys I am flying to Denver tomorrow to do Angela Rose's show, and I am very excited about that. If you guys don't know who she has a great channel also. So go follow her, and then you'll know when she posts this interview. So here, this is Angela Rose. She covers a lot of similar stuff to us. So like, yeah. Dude, 40,000, 20,000, 47,000, 18,000, 40. Yeah, she gets great views, man. I just think it's fucking cool that it's like, she's like a lone conservative girl that does what we do. You know what I mean? I met her little baby the other night. Like, she's a mom. So anyway, it's going to be good stuff, dude. You guys should definitely look for that. And definitely look out. Jake Shields is going to be dropping some clips over the next couple days from our talk today. And there was some really good stuff in there. Especially, I hope he uses it. We were talking about how Erica Kirk behaved related to
losing all credit,
related to like the memorial and the casket, and her like filming herself with her hand, like the stuff that we talked about. And we were just saying how grief is something you can't really fake, and you also can't make it go away. It's too strong of an emotion, and her total lack of grief is just very problematic for me. And Jake was talking about what it was like when he lost his father, and it's happened 14 years ago, okay, 2011, and he had just lost his father, and he had a UFC fight, and he was fighting Jake Ellenberger, and right before he made his entrance, the UFC put up like a memorial video package for Jake's father, like, look at this, and just to kind of like build up the narrative for the fight. And Jake was like, he said that when he saw it, it just completely broke him to where it did whatever they thought they were doing. I don't know if they thought that was a good idea, but he's like, I couldn't fight. I couldn't, like, he got super emotional just thinking about it. Still, like 14 years later, talking about his dad, he couldn't talk about it really without like breaking down. It's a great fucking clip. I really hope they use it. I don't give a fuck. Like, dude, if I cry on camera, I will leave it in unless I'm crying about something super dumb, which has happened before. But, it just further illustrates. It's like, if he's still, this is his dad, everybody knows that there's going to be a time where you lose your parents, you're at least somewhat prepared for that inevitability because it's inevitable unless you die first. And with a spouse, dude, like with a spouse, no one expects to lose their fucking spouse when they're 31, dude. No one. Okay? No one. So it's an unfathomable shock. They have kids together. Okay? This is all wrong. Her behavior is that of a person who is faking like Charlie's dead when he's alive. That's my honest take. I'm not saying he's alive. And I have an episode coming shortly with a scientist who says he could prove that the shot did not go at Charlie. It's a whole thing. I won't step on it too much, but it's a great episode. And that's where my brain is at in terms of Erica's. Like, the only thing that can explain her behavior is if Charlie's not dead or she is a robot. Like, she's the first AI sex bot that can somehow have children or something. Because no human could be so devoid of real emotion given the circumstances. You know, you can get better at acting, but you can't fool me, dude. Okay. Now, maybe she grieves at home, and for some reason, when she's under the lights, she just can like snap into beauty pageant mode or something. But I have not seen any genuine emotion come from her at all, which is really fucking weird. Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you for hanging out. I apologize for this rambling nonsense, but I am very tired, and it's possible I had a drink or two. So it is what it is, dude. Love you guys.